Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on mathematics. Today we'll be looking at conversion between fractions, decimals and percentages. And at the end of this video, you should be able to do three things. One, you should be able to convert from fraction to decimal. Two, you should be able to convert from decimal to percentage. And three, you should be able to convert from percentage to decimals. So let's head straight into our first example. So in this first scenario, we are converting from fraction to decimal. And it says here, to convert fraction to a decimal, we simply divide the numerator by the denominator. So we know the denominator will be the number at the bottom, and the numerator will be the number at the top. So to convert, we simply just divide the numerator by the denominator. So let's start off with a simple example. Let's say we wanted to convert 1 over 2 to a decimal. All we do, we divide the numerator, which will be 1, and we divide it by the denominator, which will be 2. So this will be 1 divided by 2. So of course, we know 2 cannot go into 1, so this will be 0. And we put a decimal point here since we can't go further, and we add a 0. And we know 2 can go into 10 5 times, and 2 times 5 would be 10. And we subtract here will be 0. So 1 over 2 converted to a decimal would simply be 0.5. Let's look at another one. Let's say we wanted to convert 4 over 5 to a decimal. Once again, we divide the numerator by the denominator. So this will be simply 4 divided by 5. And of course, 5 cannot go into 4, so this will be 0. So we put the decimal point now, and we add a 0 to continue. 5 can go into 40 8 times, and 5 times 8 would be 40, and so 40 subtract 40 will give you 0. So 4 over 5 to a decimal would simply be 0.8. Let's look at another one. Let's say we wanted to convert now 1 and 1 over 4 to a decimal. So of course, once again, we divide the numerator by the denominator. So we can do this two ways. One, we can just work with a fraction and then we add on the 1. Or two, we can convert the mixed fraction to an improper fraction and then we work out. So let's do it both ways. So let's work with it as a fraction as it is. So this will simply be 1 divided by 4. And 4 can go into 1 0 times, so we put a 0 there. And we add a decimal point and we add a 0 here to continue. And 4 can go into 10 2 times. 4 times 2 would be 8. And then we subtract there. 8 would be 2. And we add a 0 here to continue. So 4 can go into 20 now. 5 times. 4 times 5 would be 20. And we subtract that. We have 20 subtract 20 would be 0. So we have 1 over 4 converted to a decimal would be 0.25. And of course, we have the whole number 1 here, so we just add that 1 to it. So this will become 1 plus 0.25, which is simply 1.25. So 1 and 1 over 4 to a decimal would be 1.25. And that's one way to do it. Or we can simply convert the 1 and a quarter, 1 and 1 over 4, to a mixed fraction. So we know to convert that we multiply and add. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 would be 5 over, and we put back the 4, and then we convert this. So this will simply be 5 divided by 4. So 4 can go into 5 one time. 4 times 1 would be 4. 5 subtract 4 would give you 1. 4 cannot go into 1, so we add a decimal point, and we add a 0 to continue. So 4 can go into 10 2 times. 4 2s, 8. So we subtract there. So 10 subtract 8 would give you 2. And we add a 0 to continue. 4 can go into 20 5 times. 4 times 5 would give you 20. And we subtract that, we have 0. So 5 over 4, which is the same as 1 and 1 over 4, converted to a decimal would be 1.25. And that is how we convert a fraction to a decimal. We simply divide the numerator by the denominator. So of course, we don't have to do this manually. You have a powerful tool called a calculator. you can simply just divide it in your calculator to get the conversion very quickly. But just in case you are doing paper one and you want to do some conversion, this is how you do it manually. But of course, you can use the calculator. So let's move on to the next set of examples. Now we want to convert a decimal to a percentage. And this is a very simple process. To convert a decimal to a percentage, we simply multiply by 100. So let's say now we wanted to convert, 0.22 to a percentage. We simply multiply this by 100. So 0.22 multiplied by 100 would simply give you, we move the decimal point 2 times to the right, this will simply give you 22%. All right, so let's say next one. Let's say we wanted to convert 0.3 to a percentage. All we do, we multiply this by 100. We know percentage is out of 100, so we multiply by 100. So 0.3 multiplied by 100, we move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So this will be 1, 2. So this will be equal to 30%. Let's say we wanted to convert 1.24 to a percentage. Once again, we multiply this by 100. So this will be 1.24 multiplied by 100. We move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So this will be 1, 2. This will be equal to 124%. And let's do one final example to close it off. Let's say we wanted to convert 0.015 to a percentage. We multiply this by 100 again, and the decimal point will move 2 times to the right. So we jump 1, 2. This will be equal to 1.5%. And that is how you convert from a decimal to a percentage, by simply multiplying the decimal by 100. And that is all there is to it. Let's move on to another set of examples. Now we want to convert from a percentage to a fraction. So to convert from a percentage to a fraction, all we do, we write the fraction, we write the percentage over 100. Because we know percentage is out of 100, so we just write it over 100 to convert it to a fraction. Then we simplify it to its lowest terms. So let's say we wanted to convert 26% to a fraction. So this will simply be 26 over 100. And then we simplify. We know 2 can divide 26. 2 divided by 26 will give you 13. 100 divided by 2 will give you 50. So 26% to a fraction would be 13 over 50. Let's say now we wanted to convert 52% to a fraction. This would simply be 52 over 100. And 52 divided by 2 would give us 26. And 26 would be the numerator. And 100 divided by 2 would give you 50. So we see this can go further. So 26 divided by 2 would give you 13. And 50 divided by 2 would give you 25. So 52% to a fraction would be 13 over 25. And that is how you convert from a percentage to a fraction. All we do is write the percentage over 100. So let's continue. Let's say now we have an exercise. And in the exercise, they ask us to convert the following percentage to decimals and fractions in their simplest form. So we want to convert these 3 percentages to decimals and then to fraction in the lowest form. So let's start off with the first one. Let's say we have 45% and we want to convert this to a decimal. So if we say that we were converting a decimal to a percentage, we multiplied by 100. Let's say we wanted to do the reverse. We want to convert from a percentage to a decimal. Of course, since we're doing the reverse, we'll have to do the opposite of multiplication. So instead of multiplying by 100, we will divide the percentage by 100. And that is how we convert from a percentage to a decimal. So it's just simply to divide this divided by 100. So 45 divided by 100 will simply give you, so this 0 will bring back the point one time, this 0 will bring it back another time. So this will be equal to 0.45. 45% to a decimal would be 0.45. Next, we want to convert it to a fraction. So we can simply use the same decimal and we can convert the 45 to a fraction by putting it over 100. So this will be 45 over 100 as we had at the top as well. And we just simplify this to its simplest form. So 45 divided by 5 would give you 9. And 100 divided by 5 would give you 20. So 45 over 100 will be simplified to 9 over 20. So for the first one, when we convert 45% to a decimal, that would give us 0.45. And we convert 45% to a fraction, that would simplify to 9 over 20. So we have 120 now. We want to convert that to a decimal and then a fraction. So let's convert it to a decimal. So 120, we simply, once again, we divide this by 100. So when we divide this 120 by 100, we just bring back the decimal point one time. The 0 cancels with that 0. And then we bring back the point the other time for this 0. So this would be 1.2. So 120% to a decimal would be 1.2. And next, we want to convert it to a fraction. So this will be 120 over 100. And we can simplify this. So this 0 cancels with that 0. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we have 6 over 5. And we know we can convert this to a mixed fraction, which will be 5 into 6, 1. And we're left with 1 over 5. So 1 and 1 over 5 would be 120% to a fraction. And now let's move on to our last question. We have 25% and we want to convert that to a decimal. So 25 would simply be divided by 100 again. So this 0 will bring back the point one time and this 0 will bring back the point another time. So this will be 0.25. So 25% to a decimal would be 0.25. And now we want to convert this 25% to a fraction. So once again, this would be 25 over 100, and then we simplify this. So we know 25 can go into 100, so this would be 25 divided by 25 would be 1. And 100 divided by 25 would be 4. So this would be 1 over 4. So 25% is the same as a quarter. And 25% is actually the same as 0.25. So when we convert from one form to the other, from percentage to decimals and to fraction, we're basically showing the value of these numbers, the value of these percentage, the value of these fractions in different form. And it will be very helpful when you have to solve questions like the one that we're about to do next. And this question says, arrange the following in ascending order. So when we're ascending, it means we're going up. So you want to arrange from smallest to largest. Ascending means you're going up, and descending means you're going down from largest to smallest. So this is a similar question that came on 2024 May-June paper. It went for a few marks, and many persons struggle with these kind of questions because they did not know how to compare the values in the different form. So we have 5 over 8, 60%, 20 over 27, and 0.62. We want to arrange these here in ascending order. The best thing to do, since they are in different forms, and we can't really compare, I mean we can, but we may be guessing at some point. So the best thing to do is to change everything to one common form. So the best form that we can do that, we can change all to a decimal, since that way will be easier to compare. So let's change 5 over 8 to a decimal, 60% to a decimal, 20 over 27 to a decimal. So let's do that. So we have 5 over 8 to a decimal. We know that will be, that is basically 5 divided by 8. So 8 can go into 5 0 times. So we put a point and we add a 0 to continue. 8 can go into 5 6 times, and 6 times 8 would be 48. So we subtract that, we'll get 2, and we add a 0 to continue. 8 can go into 22 times, 8 2s 16. So we subtract that again, that would be 4, and we add a 0 to continue. And 8 can go into 40 5 times, 8 5s 40, and that would be 0 0. So 5 over 8 to a decimal would be 0.625. So the next thing you want to convert is 60% to a decimal. So this would be 60 over 100. And we know that we can simply divide this. So this 0 cancels with that 0. This 0 will bring the point back here. So this would be 0.6. So 60 percentage to a decimal would be 0.6. So the next thing we want to convert is 20 over 27 to a decimal. So this will be 20 divided by 27. So of course 20 can go into 27, so this will be 0. So we add a point and we add a 0 to continue. So 27 can go into 207 times. 27 times 7, that would give you 189. And you subtract that, that will give you 11. And then we add a 0 to continue. 27 can go into 110 4 times. 27 times 4 would give you 108. And we subtract that, we will have 2. And we add a 0 to continue. Of course, 20 can go into 27, so we add another 0. So because we add another 0, we must of course add another 0 at the top here as well. Because we are only at 4, we can only add 1 0 to continue. We cannot add 2 0. If you add another 0, you have to add that 0 at the top as well. So 27 can go into 200 once again. You'll see 7 times, and then we will continue going in a cycle. So we can stop at 0.74. Since we know the next number would be 7, and then it will be 4, then it will be 0, then it will be 7. So we can stop at 0.74. We can use 2 decimal points. 20 over 27 would be 0.74 approximately when we round that off. So we have our numbers here now. So I will circle them. So now we have our 4 numbers, we have our 4 decimals, all in the same form. So now we can rearrange now in ascending order. So ascending means we are moving from the smallest going up. So we see the smallest number here, by just a tiny something, would be 0.6. So it will be 0.6, and this will be followed by, so we see we have 0.62, and then we have 0.625. So 0.62 would be smaller than 0.625. So that would be next 0.62. And this will be followed by 0.625. And then this will be followed by 0.74. And this is how we arrange terms that we were given in ascending order. We convert all to one common type, which is decimal in this case. And then we look at the decimals, and then we compare, and then we arrange. So these kind of questions, you know how to tackle them. You convert, and then you compare. And with that, it has brought us to the end of this video. I trust that you now have a better understanding of converting from fractions to decimals, and from decimals to percentages, and from percentages to fractions. And we see the benefit of understanding this here and how to apply it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.